Welcome everyone and thank you so much for joining in. So as you can already hear from my voice, I am not feeling that well, but I still thought I will give you guys a quick update on price action of Bitcoin and also show you what could be unfolding next. So for that, if we look at the price structure of Bitcoin here in a weekly time frame using this Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve and also the Fibonacci line, this is actually a very interesting scenario, because if you go back here, right, all the way from 2010, when the price of Bitcoin started showing this new impulsive movement where we also touched the top of this Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve. I mean here, right, if you look at the price movement before that, before we started this new impulsive movement, the price of Bitcoin showed this retracement, retesting the support around this 1.618 Fibonacci line, and only after that we got gravitated towards the top of this Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve. And if you look at this one here, another one from 2011, from this swing high till this swing low area, before we started this new impulsive movement where the price of Bitcoin also came across this top of this Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve, you can see the price showed a very similar movement where we also had this retracement, right, price retesting the 1.618 Fibonacci line, and only after that showing this actual impulsive movement where we also got gravitated towards the top of this Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve. Again, here from 2013, if you take this Fibonacci retracement from this swing high till this swing low area, before we started this new impulsive movement, you can see the price of Bitcoin showed a very similar movement where we got retraced around this 1.618 Fibonacci line, found support, and only after that we got gravitated towards the top of this channel here from 2017, from this swing high till this swing low area. If you take this Fibonacci retracement line, right, you can see the price of Bitcoin also actually showed a very similar movement where we got retraced around this 1.618, just like here, right, just like here and just like here. So that's why after this retracement the price did show this new relief rally, and this relief rally also made a new all-time high. But then you can see we saw this price retracement. But if we look at this price structure right now, if the price of Bitcoin, right, is going to follow this very similar scenario that has unfolded here in past Bitcoin price action, then you can see, guys, the price has already retested the 1.618 Fibonacci line, and now maybe we could be slowly trying to see this new impulsive movement. I'm not saying you that this has to happen, guys. I could be horribly wrong. I'm just showing you what has unfolded here in past Bitcoin price action when the price in an uptrend saw this retracement and found support at this 1.618 Fibonacci line. Even if this trend is not going to be a new impulsive movement, what have we said? We have said the price of Bitcoin right now here in the immediate short term could be actually getting approached towards this 0.5 to 0.618 Fibonacci line before choosing a trend direction. So if this bullish scenario here in a weekly time frame, what has unfolded again and again, is not going to play out, but still here in the immediate short term we are expecting this relief rally to continue at least towards this 0.5 to 0.618 Fibonacci line before choosing a trend duration. Because yesterday on my video I showed you using this ascending channel why this ascending channel lower line was actually a very strong line of support, right? You can see here the price of Bitcoin after approaching around this lower line area found a very strong support. You can see that very clearly, right? And also the upper line here was actually acting as a strong line of resistance. Every time the price retested the upper line area we got a rejection. But now if we look at this area, we also included this double bottom formation that was playing out here. So that's why if this is going to be a continuation pattern, because the price of Bitcoin has already broken out of this neckline area from this double bottom, or if we would see any sort of a retest from this previous temporary range line, then that should be also fine, right? Because we know around this 44,000 we have a very strong line of support lying around for Bitcoin. And if this trend is going to continue, then just like what I showed you on my yesterday video, the price of Bitcoin could be heading towards this 52,000 before we choose an actual trend direction. Because I have been very clear with you guys what I personally believe. If this trend is going to continue here to the upside here in the immediate short term, we could be getting gravitated towards this 0.5 to 0.618 Fibonacci line. Let me add here 0.5 to 0.618 Fibonacci line. So for us, this 0.5 to 0.618 Fibonacci line between 50,000 to 55,000 is where we could be getting gravitated before, right, before price chooses an actual trend duration. So that's why guys, for us here in the immediate short term, this 50,000 to 55,000 is our potential upcoming target for Bitcoin. And beside this example, let's also find out what actually could be unfolding around this area here in a smaller time frame. So guys, now before I switch into other chart, I just want to make you aware we have up to $8,700 crypto exchange bonus available for our community member here in the video description down below. So if you are an experienced trader, if you want to take advantage of this market volatility, then the link to BYBIT and PHEMEX is provided in the description down below, because you can see BYBIT right now is giving around $4,600 bonus and PHEMEX around $4,100 bonus. So if you want to take advantage, the link is provided in the description down below, so feel free to check it out. Now let me show you this very interesting chart. So now if you look at this price action of Bitcoin here in a 4-hour time frame, I want to show you a very interesting scenario which could be playing out here in the immediate short term. Because if you simply add this descending trend line or falling trend line and look at the price action of Bitcoin, whenever we got approached around this falling trend line, the price after that got a rejection, right? Rejection. Plenty of time we tried to break out of it, we got a rejection. And right now, if you look at this price movement, we are again approaching around this falling trend line. And if I would add another falling trend line here to the downside, you can see we could be forming this so-called descending broadening wedge type of scenario, and this descending broadening wedge is actually a bullish scenario. So that's why here in the immediate short term, if the price of Bitcoin does manage to break out of this falling trend line or the upper line area of this descending broadening wedge, then we could be seeing some really nice impulsive price movement playing out here in the immediate short term for Bitcoin. And beside this, what we can also do, guys, is we can add so-called inverse head and shoulder type of formation. It might not look 100% accurate, but if you still look at this price action here in this manner, you can see the price of Bitcoin could be forming this inverse head and shoulder and also breaking out of this upper line area from the descending broadening wedge is also a breakout from this neckline area. So this neckline area and also the upper line area from this descending broadening wedge is right now a very strong resistance line around this 46,500 for Bitcoin. So if we could find a proper support above that, then we could be seeing some really nice impulsive movement here in the immediate short term. But if we get rejection here, we are well aware, guys, the price of Bitcoin could be getting gravitated between this 0.5 to 0.618 Fibonacci line, which is going to be another strong support here in the immediate short term for Bitcoin. So this is what I see right now looking at the price action of Bitcoin in a smaller time frame and this in a weekly time frame. But I also want to quickly update you on what we mentioned on my yesterday's video, because according to this accumulation phase from Wyckoff, we are well aware before the price of Bitcoin starts with this new impulsive movement, if it is going to be an accumulation phase from Wyckoff, right? If it's the question. So if this is going to be more of an accumulation phase, then we are also expecting more of a consolidation of price forming so-called the symmetrical triangle type of scenario, and only after that showing this new impulsive movement entering inside this phase E area. So if this is going to be just a small impulsive movement and not an actual mark of phase, we want the price at least to get approached between this 0.5 to 0.618 Fibonacci line, right, before choosing an actual trend direction. So that's why even if this is not going to play out as an actual mark of phase, right, like this after this consolidation, we still expect this price to see a retracement at least around this 0.5 to 0.618 before choosing an actual trend direction. So these are some of the quick updates what I wanted to share with you in today's video. If you enjoyed my work, then please hit the like button, and also for those individuals watching for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye.